New Traeger Timberline unboxing and assembly. There certainly is a lot of hype on the inner zones about Traeger's new Timberline XL. I know there was a lot of you people that were walking around Home Depot and got sticker shock. Don't worry, it happens. Sometimes you gotta take a screwdriver and straighten it out later. I plan to do a series of videos on this pellet grill to see if it's actually worth $4,000. So welcome to the system, Tom. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. The unboxing on this Traeger Timberline XL was simple, and I do like how they packaged this pit. And for all of you out there with little kids, you can still build that fort. There's 20 types of parts that go into this assembly, but some are multiples of the same part. And Traeger has supplied the 3 main tools that you'll need to assemble this pit. Everything on this pit is tapped, so we don't have to worry about adding any nuts. First thing we need to do is put on those 4 locking casters. You got 16 A-screws, and once you have them all set and finger tight, grab that screwdriver and snug them up. Now's a good time to make sure that you lock those casters. This way, when you pick it back up, those casters are gonna grab that surface and you don't have to worry about those wheels sliding out from underneath you. Grab 4 A-screws and your screwdriver and let's put on that induction shelf. Now grab 4 number C hex screws and mount those on that side frame, but keep them nice and loose. Grab your induction shelf, and because those brackets are notched out, you might have to wiggle the shelf around a little bit to make sure that you get all 4 of those screws in the right position. Grab your Allen wrench and tighten them up nice and snug. Now grab 3 D spacers and 3 D hex bolts. And also just start them and don't tighten them up. Now in step 13, we found an error on the installation pamphlet. We only need 12 of the number D bolts. You don't have to put on the 2 D bolts on the back side of the induction shelf. You'll have 1 little Ziploc bag with 4 flathead screws that are gonna go on the back end at a later date. Now grab your 4 pals, also known as the pop and lock accessory rail. These rails will hang on those 12 B bolts that you put on loosely. But grab 3 more for that big long shelf, because where you put those spacers, you gotta add another bolt. Now grab your provided wrench, and it also has a ratchet. That's a pretty nice little added feature, Traeger. Good job. Now just simply tighten up all the bolts on the pop and lock accessory rail. The new Traeger Timberline XL has a completely remodified and redesigned inner chamber. Now open up your lid and grab your fire pot. It's gonna have to go on a slight angle with that lip underneath the auger. The first baffle you're gonna grab is called the grease tube, and obviously that's gonna help direct any of that cooking grease right out of this chamber. Your next step is to grab the Easy Clean drip pan. Get that in the pit along with your grease governor. I know it kind of sounds funny calling it a grease governor. Put in your 3 heavy-duty stainless steel grates. Grab your 2nd and 3rd tier grill grates and put them in too. As long as we got that lid wide open, it's a great time to put on the handle. The bolts for this are already at the end. Make sure that spacer is on the outside of the grill in between the handle. Step 23 is where we realized that our instruction pamphlet was not correct. We're putting on the storage bracket that holds the cover for the induction burner. Now you have 2 Ziploc bags with 4 screws in them. Make sure that you're grabbing the flathead style. Grab your induction cooktop and put that in with the control knob towards the front. Grab your screwdriver and the other Ziploc bag with the 4 screws in it and mount that up tight. Grab a wire cutter and cut off that tie that's holding that plug up tight, and then just simply plug it into the pit. It's a perfect time to put on that induction cooktop cover. Now take your magnetic cutting board and place that right on top of the hopper. Open up your doors on your bottom storage cabinet, grab the Easy Clean grease and ash keg, pop in a liner and slam it home. Step 27 is optional. You can either put in the wood shelves or grab your stay dry pellet bin and put that in instead. Finally, for the assembly assembly number 28, grab your power cord, plug it into the back of the pit, and if you're ready to do the burn-in, or burn-off as I call it, plug it into the outlet. Some of you might be wondering what my opinion is on the build quality on the new Traeger Timberline XL. First, I really think that they packaged this pit well. Those plastic little connectors, they snap off pretty easy, and after you get the outer shell off, it's packaged pretty tight. I do suggest, if you can, have somebody help you put this pit together. It's not the heaviest pit in the world, but it is bulky, and it isn't the easiest to lay it back down on its side. The assembly took the boys about an hour and a half, which is pretty average for a pit this size. One thing that I noticed right away is I wish that they had bigger and heavier duty casters on this pit. Now the next time you see me on the new Traeger Timberline XL, I'll be doing the burn off and the walk around review. Well, that's all I got. Roll the nation. Oh yeah, this is a pretty elitist pit. They even gave one to that guy that lost his laptop. They're also known as the Parmesan Snorter.